Today's recipe is sweet potatoes with black beans and cheddar cheese, and it's delicious. I've been really eager to make this, but I had to wait until the weather cooled before I could turn on the oven and not, heat up the house. So I'm gonna go turn on the oven. So I'm gonna use convection bake, just, I don't know, because, and 425 degrees. Okay, while that's heating up, let's get the potatoes ready. Here we go. First thing we're gonna do is line a sheet pan, or, it can be any kind of, it could be a cookie pan. This is a well-used old pan. Could even be pizza pans. If you have parchment paper, that's really great because it makes cleanup a lot easier. And I just get no name brand, as you can see. Okay. All right, so here's a little trick I'm gonna show you. I have lots of tricks. See how it curls up? Well, one day, many years ago, I was at the beach with a Chinese friend of mine, and he told me about using pebbles to rest your chopsticks on the plate. So we picked up some rocks. I went back home, cleaned them, and I don't really use them for my chopsticks, but I do use them like this. So here's the parchment paper, curling up as it does. I just put a rock in each corner to hold it in place until I'm ready to stick it in the oven. And even if I stuck it in the oven, it's rocks, it's all right. So I got the paper ready, and I gotta cut these in half. Now, you can choose any kind of sweet potato you like, but I think if you get one that's fatter rather than those long skinny ones, I think it's gonna work better for this recipe. So these are nice and fat. Get my knife. Set one aside out of the way, and you wanna very carefully cut them in half the long way, like that. So hold it. Be really careful. Oh, wow, this is a hard one. Okay, that's all right. So I'm gonna pull it back out, and I'm gonna do it like this. I'll just do half at a time. So we're gonna go in, cut down, in, cut down. There you go. Ta-da! Set those aside and do the other one. Let's see if I need to do the same thing. Probably. Oh, maybe not. Got it. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is get a bowl, a little dish. These are so useful in the kitchen. I recommend you having these just because they're handy for all sorts of things. What I'm going to use it for now is olive oil, and I'm going to use butter flavored olive oil, but you can use plain. This one, honestly, I have more of this than plain olive oil, and that's why I'm going to use this one. So just pour a little bit, not much, maybe a tablespoon or so. That might be enough. And we're going to coat both sides of all of these. So just with a pastry brush, just paint it, put it down, paint the other side. And Also, we're supposed to salt them. So you get some kosher salt, and let's see. This is my kosher salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on both sides. Should have turned that over first. Okay. And I'll do the other one and get back with you. Okay, I've got them all prepared with the olive oil and a little bit of salt. And I don't really need these rocks anymore, so I'm gonna put them away. Sometimes I do use it on, leave them on until I bake or through baking. Like I said, it's rocks. So as soon as the oven beeps and says it's hot enough, I'm gonna put these in and I'm going to bake them for 30 to 40 minutes until they're completely done. And then I'll show you what's next. All right, the oven is hot. Time to put them in. So here goes. Sorry, I couldn't show you inside the oven. Takes 2 hands. Now I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. And then I'll check. Meanwhile, I'm just cutting up some broccoli because I'm gonna serve mine with broccoli, just some steamed broccoli. This is gonna be an easy meal. Those are really nice to have sometimes. All right, so just finish this up. But I think you know how to do this, right? So I'll just turn this video off and get back with you in 30 minutes. The sweet potatoes are in the oven. I've finished with my broccoli. I just broke it up, and I usually put most of the stem, cutting away the nasty part on the end. But, you know, some people cut away the stem and don't use it at all. It's up to you. So I also want to drain the black beans. We're using a can of black beans. The recipe calls for a cup, but I usually cram in the whole can. By the way, this recipe comes from New York Times, and I've made it a lot of times, and it's really good. So here, let's clean these or rinse off these beans. Some of them always stick on the bottom, it seems like. So let's do this. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get the rest of them. Yeah. Wash. I mean, rinse. Get the foam away. And now I can just leave it there, you know, until I'm ready for it. It could be draining. The other thing is I have shredded sharp cheddar. It is sharp cheddar that it calls for. And it's really handy to get it like this, but you can get a chunk and then shred it yourself. And if you're shredding it yourself, this would be the time to do it. So, oh, I also have prepared a pot with a steamer. And I put some water on the bottom. This is going to be for the broccoli. And I'm not going to bother to heat it up right now because it doesn't take very long. So we've got 23 more minutes before the potatoes are done. I think I'll take a break. It's been 30 minutes. All right, we got to check and see if the potatoes are done. Let's take a look. So I'm kind of stab it with just a knife. Oh yeah, that's done. Turn that off. Actually, I'm probably gonna need to turn it back on, but I'll do that. Okay, put you over here, and I'll get the sweet potatoes and adjust this. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get a fork. Be careful, these are really, really hot. So gently turn it over. Check that out. Doesn't that look great? And I gotta tell you, this kitchen smells so good. I really love sweet potatoes. Unfortunately, I love most sweet things. Like you, Anna. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to use your fork and kind of fluff up the potato, loosen it up. But I'm not going to put my fingers on it because it's hot. So I'm just going to, I might have to. All right, I'm going to, let's see, very gently touch it. Just kind of twist the fork around, just kind of fluff it up. Whoops. Put that stuff back in there. Actually, I don't have to make you sit through this whole process. You're going to do that with all 4 of these halves. Then you get your beans that are all nice and drained and put some in here. And I love black beans too. So I'm gonna kind of press some in. I'm gonna try to use up the whole can in these 4 pieces. And I'll just go ahead and do all those and come back. Okay, they're all done, and I didn't use it all, but that's okay because I can keep this and put it in a salad or, I don't know, make something else with it. So there they are with their beans. Doesn't that look delicious? And now I'm gonna put maybe well, I don't know, some cheese on top. Okay. And I'm making a mess. I really don't like to waste. So what I'm going to do is pick these up, put them on top. Oops. Oh, geez. They don't want to be on there. Maybe I put too much. Anyway, all right, there it is. So I turned the oven off. I mean, back on. I really shouldn't have turned it off to begin with. Because all I need to do now is put these back in the oven. There, oven's hot now. I'm gonna put these back in the oven and just cook it for 5 more minutes so it melts everything and we're ready to go. Okay, let's go over to the oven. Wrong side. Okay. Five minutes. So I decided I'm going to wait about cooking the broccoli because we're not quite ready to eat. The potatoes will stay hot for a while on the, after they come out of the oven. The broccoli will cook in 3 minutes. So here's how you do it. I'll tell you how, and then I'll do it, you know, later when we're ready. So I showed you, I have the steamer, I have the water, put the lid on. I'm going to turn that on high until it's boiling. And when it's boiling, I'm just going to drop the broccoli into the pot and steam it for 3 minutes. That's perfect, 3 minutes. And then turn it off. You could salt and pepper. You could put, I don't know, some kind of seasoning on it if you want. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on mine, but I'll probably pick up some kind of, I have a lot of seasoning mixes, so I'll probably put something like that on. Or maybe I'll just put salt and pepper, maybe a little butter, or butter olive oil if you're a vegan and you want to do that. Anyway, I'll show you the final potatoes when they're done. The timer has gone off, so time to get them out. Check that out. I hope you can see it. All right. There it is. Turn that oven off. It's so hot. Okay. So I could have done this before I put them in the oven, but I didn't. So I'm going to put some black pepper on them. And that's going to make them even more delicious. And there you go. Sweet potatoes with black beans and cheddar cheese. I'm going to serve it with broccoli. Do what you want. I hope you like it. I think you will. See you next time.